Okay, so we're going to go to the bridge items, DGN Live, and at this time there's one cell. It's called Bridge EndRoll. So I'm going to choose it. We're going to go through placement and edits of it, and just kind of going through the prompts. And kind of one thing I've done before, or actually a couple things before I go to attempt to place a cell. One is, I've got a template here, and it's actually pushed a little behind where my bridge abutment is going to be. And then the second item, I have drawn an element here that at least represents the location of my bridge abutment. And that was placed from right to left. The length really doesn't matter as long as it's outside of the shoulder, or at least from the shoulder to the shoulder over here. All right, so let's just kind of go through the prompts here. So, and all this you're seeing here is just template graphics. So center line profiled, edge of pavement right, edge of pavement left, edge of shoulder right, edge of shoulder left, and then the last reference is a bridge abutment placed from edge of shoulder right to edge of shoulder left. So it's going to be that element there. Then as far as direction of references, you can see that all those are towards the bridge. And then this is the abutment here, right to left. So that's your direction that you need. Before you place this cell, your direction of arrows need to be going that way or those ways. So we'll reset and then select corridor to be clipped. And then we'll reset and accept. Another thing I think I forgot to mention. I might have mentioned it. I want your template needs to go past that, and I don't think I did mention that. So past that bridge abutment. Now you can see it probably went a little bit too far here, but that fix is pretty simple. You just grab your template and just back it up just a little bit, right? As long as you don't get up into that area there, you're good there. So that little sliver there, we just got rid of that. All right, and then we'll go over horizontal and vertical edits next. Okay, so if I'll come in and just rotate this view, you can kind of see what it looks like. And it looks pretty good. I think we deliver this cell initially with a 2-to-1 fill slope, and that's what you're seeing here. And I really think we're seeing a 2-to-1 on your corridor model there. It's a little difference, and then one of the things we're going to do is we've got to line these two slopes up, and that's part of the process of the edits for this cell. All right, so I'm going to turn off construction class, and then we'll just talk about a few of the edits. So this beam seat here. So as far as edits, if you wanted to change the horizontal here, so you would grab the beam seat element right there. And probably best thing to do would be come grab the interval like that. And then if you want to change that, from 4 feet to 5 feet, just make that edit, make that wider. As far as vertical, the element we're looking for, we'll hover over. We're looking for the control element right there. And then if we'll choose that, you can actually, I'm going to go ahead and open a profile view. So we'll open this profile view. Right, and quite honestly, there's a couple of different ways. You can come in and change that vertical, so your beam seat depth. If you want to change that, you can grab that. But you can also change that off of that civil cell control element there. So if we went and looked at properties, come on, look at that profile offset rule. So -3 initially, if we wanted to change that to -4, right? Just change that. Okay, so what we're going to look at next is actually making these slopes line up here, your corridor model, and then the slope here in your actual civil sail. We'll also talk about this is a tapered wall here. I just looking at some of the bridges in GDOT, and most of the time it just looked like a normal retaining wall out there. I didn't see that tapered in. I mean, it could be some bridges I didn't see, but we'll show you maybe how to do something a little bit different on that as well. All right, so that's kind of what we're going to be looking at next. And there is actually, I'm going to turn on construction. It really doesn't matter. I don't need construction class on for this, but if you'll right click, and it's kind of tough to grab this element here. We'll try it one more time. Yeah, so CC wall transition left. So this element here, and this is going to actually scoot to the side here. So if I were to come in here and change this to 15, if you'll watch the 3D view, you'll see that I've got the 2D and the 3D view kind of backwards of each other, but you saw that right side out there. So this is really, it can be just a trial and error process here. I'm going to show you a couple things to get this a little closer. 15 was a guess, but you've got that, and then this other side here as well, where you can come in here and just change that to, just trial and error until you get that. And really what you want to do is look at that point right here. There is what you want to get that point close there. And then you also got to take in consideration the slopes here. So, if it's a 2-to-1 slope at this point on your mainline corridor there, and this is actually a 2-to-1 slope in this template. The reason they're not lining up, there's still a little gap there, is because we're cutting across this roadway skewed. If we were 90, we'd be lined up perfect, right? As long as we got that point right, that bottom would be lined up right. But since we're going across it skewed, there's a little difference on that. So, I mean, I'll be honest, I think what I would probably do next would be to come in and we'll go do a profile from surface. And I'm going to choose this CC control. We'll reset. And then for the reference surface, I will come in and cut on construction class. And then I'm going to just choose this corridor model right there. Reset and just confirm all these prompts. Right, and you can see what we get here is that slope exactly there. So, and really what I don't know a good way to measure this slope. I probably should, but I don't. So, without doing some digging, and I'll have to do that later just to get this video done. If nothing else, you can look at your elevation and your offset there, compare them to the elevation offset there, right, to get that slope at this skew there. I came up with about 46.9 in this particular situation. So, how would I change that? Right? How do I want to change this slope out here to 46.9? So, we've got a linear template right here, right? So if we just go look at this template, it's just really a one slope line. You see that 50% slope there. Okay, I was just going to add that as parametric constraint, which you can, but I think since I'm here, I'll just go ahead and change this to 46.9. Apply, close, and hit OK, and you should see this 3D model update, which we do there. As far as the wall, this, I can't remember if I mentioned this earlier, but that, on this template, we got an extra, actually not that template there, it's on your on the corridor template. So if we look at that, I actually got a little extra piece out there, maybe guardrail piece. I'm not exactly sure. I think, but that's on that 2-to-1 slope there. So, and that's kind of what you're seeing right in here. So, I really think to kind of solve that last little bit right there is to probably just gonna come in and get rid of the wall there. So I'm gonna just come in and go to corridor objects, and I'm gonna choose, here's your wall there, corridor template, and then I'll go to point control, and I'm gonna just come in and actually, so right now that, this template is actually placed on that elevation there, and then we're targeting this as a point control. I probably could target this as well, and it should pick up that little extra. But I think since Georgia, I think generally has just a regular wall instead of a taper out here. I really think what I'm going to do is just change the target to this surface right there. So I'm going to change that profile element to surface, to just give us a wall there. We may be a little bit off, it looks like, on those, but that's really just a matter of coming back in and trial and error and that back to where you need it there. Alright, so not that element, but that element right there, a wall transition. I'll actually go, since we're flipped, come in and change that to 14.5, and we'll get a little closer there on that edge there. Alright, so it's a quick, probably some better ways to get it this exact. I just hadn't spent a lot of time. I spent a little time with it, obviously, but I hadn't spent a ton of time to figure out how to get that exactly right. I mean, we're pretty close. But I'm going to come back over to this other side. We're not going to clean this side up. We are going to go over here and place this just so you'll know how to place this on this other side next. So I'm going to go back to place civil cell, and then we'll just go through the prompt. So center line, and then it wants your right edge of pavement. It's always approaching the bridge. So there's your right, there's your left edge of pavement, there's your right shoulder, there's your left shoulder, and then the bridge abutment there. All right, and this is a case where we want these direction of arrows going completely opposite of what they're going, so we need to reverse all these. That one, that one, this one right there, and then also that one there. And then that looks good, so we'll reset, select that corridor to be clipped, reset, and accept that cell. Alright, and if we'll just come in here and rotate this view, you can see that side there. So you can kind of see where we're headed with that. Now I just come in and have to do the edits to get that right. I really just wanted to show you how to handle that approach from the side. Make sure you go right and left the same direction. So that's a quick overview of the bridge EndRolls, and obviously you've got the template capability here. If you want to change this to concrete in here, you got that ability to do that. You may have to place a new template. In other words, place a template from there to there, and then a different one if you just have concrete down this slope right in there. But should be able to do that if you got it. I'm just showing grass here, but a lot of times that'll be a paved concrete right there. All right, so that's a quick overview of the bridge end wall cells.